So I guess I'll start. Tobin, obviously you just named the assistant youth director over in Portland, right? So how big of a cause is it to help the youth in America with soccer?
It's huge. I mean, coming back here into my hometown, this is really important to me. When this field was dedicated last summer, I had pledged to come back and give back to the community that gave so much to me. I mean, I was so fortunate in my development because I did have the best youth development, I think, and that all came because I grew up here. I got lucky, and for me, part of that is part of kind of that responsibility is to give back. So for me, I want to give everybody the opportunity to have the passion and the love for the game that I do. And something like this is important to me because these kids, it's something that you can kind of hold on to as a kid and propel you forward, maybe give you a different dream, another opportunity, and I love it. I love being here.
I'm sorry,
no, I was just going to say, I assume you played on this field and now you're coaching on this field. What is that like for you?
Yeah, it's authentic. I mean, I did. This is one of the first places that I played as a kid, so I have a lot of memories here, and it's crazy because now I see these kids playing here, and it's a direct reflection of myself, and I know as a kid I would have loved this opportunity, so to see all these kids, to have fun, to give high fives and encouragement, I mean, that means the world to me because I know what that would have meant to me as a kid, and to actually be in a place where I grew up is even more special, and I hope to continue to make this thing happen every single year.
Awesome.
Men's soccer has the youth academies, so is that the future here with women's soccer too?
Yeah, definitely. So the DA now is, the men's DA was set up a few years ago, and now the women are following that same model. And just to have the backing of the federation and to have the full support of the NWSL clubs and also the best women's clubs throughout, even my club that I grew up here, PDA, which is I think the best women's club in the country that I grew up at. To have those types of clubs in it competing, it's a very elite group, and that's what we kind of need to continue to propel the success of the national team and to continue the development of the pro leagues as well. It's going to be really cool to see a pro player that's come from the DA through the system and is now playing on, a Sky Blue or a Portland Thorns. So that would be really, really unique. And these kids will have the opportunity to play in it, and that's something that was really important about the DA, is to give everybody the opportunity to play. So the cost is so much lower than what other costs are to play at elite clubs, because that's important. That's part of actually my mission, is to make soccer accessible for everyone, because I realized during my time that it wasn't, that it is a very privileged sport. It costs a lot of money, it costs a lot of commitment to families, and I want to make it so a kid can make it all the way to their dreams, and they don't have to worry about stuff like that.
So you growing up, things weren't as accessible as you said for other women's soccer players, maybe not yourself, but other around you?
Yeah, I would say for me, obviously, I grew up here in Basking Ridge, so I had it all, but I learned throughout the development process, and now that I'm older, now I know the actual system. I know that it isn't a fair system, and I want to make it fair, and I want to give everyone an opportunity, because not only is that the right thing to do, but also we're missing out on some of the best players because of it, and so for me that's part of the development of getting better in this country.
Do you feel that, I think I read on the DA, one of the objectives is to just get out and play. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like youth sports, the organization of youth sports, is sort of hindering it in a way?
Yes, I do believe that the organization of sports in this country kind of hinder that kind of backyard feel that we have nowadays, because everything is so I guess organized and with someone telling you what to do, and that's kind of part of what I'm doing here, is I want to make kids passionate about sport. That's why I wanted every kid to leave with a soccer ball, because I want these kids to be able to go home and play.
Cool.
Because all you need is a soccer ball, and it's the only sport where you don't really need anything. You don't even need grass. You can play anywhere. So that was important to me, and the mission was getting the kids the ball and just getting them passionate, having them have fun here, and maybe have them see me do something that they're like, oh, I want to try that. If she can do it, I can do it. I'm from around here. She's from around here, and that's important for me, because those little things helped me when I was younger. I would see somebody do something, and then I would go home with my ball and I would try doing it, and that's the inspiration I want to give these kids.
And just play.
Yeah, exactly.
So when it comes to the development of women's soccer, how much does it mean to you then to know that the national team was able to strike that deal earlier, a couple of months ago, to better pay the women's players on the team?
Yeah, the deal was huge, but when you unpack the deal, it's not about the money. It's about it's about something similar to this. It's about kind of giving women and girls the opportunity to reach their dreams. And I think so much it was us fighting, not for ourselves, but fighting for other people. For instance, with the NWSL, a lot of our fight that a lot of people don't know about was to create minimum standards for the NWSL, and those are players that are going to benefit that are outside the national team. So I think it's creating these future and setting up for the national team in the future to continue to be able to build on this foundation that we've laid in this last CBA. So I think a lot of people just see the number sign, and for us that wasn't the success of the CBA. It was other issues that we were able to tackle, and most of it's just care, to be honest.
Is that fight still going on with the NWSL to create those standards that you're talking about?
So now the standards are there, so now it's implementing the standards, and some of those are going to take place over a longer period of time. They can't be placed right away, and so within the next year or two. The NWSL, as you guys know, is in its 5th year, and which is the longest any league has lasted in this country, and it's here to stay. It's healthy, and the quality is so great, and I think we're going to continue to add teams, and maybe teams that aren't as good maybe get, like we saw in Western New York, getting transferred over to North Carolina and stuff like that, because this league is growing and it's getting stronger. So it's kind of like everybody has to raise up to the standards that we've kind of put in place.
And you've been sort of the bridge between the old regime and the new regime on the women's national team. Kind of a two-part question. What have you learned from the old regime, and what are you looking to teach the new regime?
Yeah, everything. I learned everything from the older players. This team is formed off of great leaders, great women who have stood up for what they believe is right, and that kind of attitude has trickled down to the younger players, and it's kind of a responsibility that you take when you become an older player on the team. I've learned so much in these last few years, and just be able to contribute in a different type of way off the field, and you're more aware of things that go on off the field, and be able to give that confidence and kind of start educating the younger kids as well, because when it's their turn, they're going to do the same thing. So it's kind of the passing of the torch that happens. I actually saw Chrissy Rampone last night, and it was just a joy to see her, especially to see her still killing it out on the field, but also because she meant so much to me. She was a fantastic leader and person, and she's a great example of somebody that just gave back to the younger generation in a positive way, and allowed them to continue the work that she had already started.
Right. Is captainship in your future? You're talking like a captain out here.
No, I mean, if that was the case, I would be very honored, but it's definitely not something that I'm naturally inclined to, I would say.
Well, and just a New Jersey question here. The women's national team has 4 New Jersey women out of 23 on the roster.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
This is a hotbed for soccer. I mean, like I said, I grew up in a great place for soccer, and it's always been that way traditionally on the national team. Some of the best players have come out of this area, and it's no surprise, because soccer is great here. And I mean, just even having something like this, I had Heather O'Reilly that I kind of followed in her footsteps, and I think it's important, like I said earlier, to have that kind of role model that's from an area that you're in, that you're like, oh, I'm from there, I can do it too. And it's really important to have it not be so far away. I think a lot of times professional athletes, they kind of take themselves out of the world, like kind of become untouchable. And for me, I don't want that to be my life. Like, I want to come into the world, and for players like this to be able to see me as a real person, to see me as somebody that they can be.
Awesome.
So when it comes to the NWSL, how important is it keeping the star players like yourself and some others? Obviously, Alex, she's overseas. Carly's overseas. How important is it to keep them here, though?
Yeah, what people don't realize is that people have been going overseas for forever, and it's part of and it's part of everybody's personal development. I think it's great for players to go overseas because they bring back what they learn, and vice versa. We've got a lot of internationals playing the NWSL that I love playing with. For instance, we have a French international, Amadine Henry, that plays with Portland Thorns, one of the best players in the world, and that's part of sports, is this like international, I guess, kind of, you learn from me, I learn from you, you come, I go, type thing. And for us in the NWSL, it's important to have those internationals. It's important for players to come in and out and bring their experiences. And I think the difference between the NWSL is there's no other league that has the type of competition that the NWSL has week in and week out. Every single game you have no idea who's going to win because it's that strong from top to bottom, and any other league in the world doesn't have that. So it's a unique league, and it's a very difficult league to play in. It's not easy for any player, even the best players in the world.
So for the future for you, World Cup, everything? Yeah. You're going to be on the roster, everything?
I mean,
Olympics?
I hope to God that I am for sure, but that's definitely my ambition is to do another cycle and to make it the best yet. That's what I always strive for.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks,
Awesome. Yeah. Nice to speak to you guys.